Chosen one, stop scrolling right now and lock your attention on this message. You did not find this recording by accident. The system wants you to believe it was just a random algorithm that brought you here today. But heaven orchestrated this exact intersection in time for your soul. You need to hear this specific truth before you sleep tonight. Take one deep breath slowly and drop your heavy shoulders right now. You have been feeling an overwhelming sense of restlessness lately. It is a strange heaviness that sits quietly in the back of your mind. You toss and turn during the dark hours of the night. And even when your physical body is entirely exhausted, your awakened spirit simply refuses to sleep. You thought you were just tired from the endless demands of your week. You assumed it was the stress of daily life finally catching up to you. People around you always tell you that you are overthinking every little detail again, but you know deep inside that this feeling is entirely different. It feels like your soul is waiting for something massive to happen. Listen carefully to the words I am speaking right now. There is a very specific reason why your life has felt so overwhelmingly strange in the last 72 hours. You are absolutely not losing your mind or going crazy. The sudden exhaustion and the urge to isolate yourself are not weaknesses. They are divine signals confirming that something profound is shifting. You have been pulling away from people recently without really knowing why. The shallow conversations that used to entertain you now feel incredibly draining. You find yourself sitting in pure silence just to recover your stolen energy. Your friends and family might think you are acting distant or cold, but they do not understand the invisible weight you are carrying. You have always been the person who gives absolutely everything to others. You listen to their countless problems and absorb their chaotic energy. You force a smile through your own pain just to make sure they are comfortable. And while you were busy playing the dedicated healer for everyone else, your own spiritual reservoir was slowly drained completely dry. This is exactly why your chest feels so tight lately. You are not experiencing random emotional breakdowns or unexplainable sadness. Your spirit is currently fighting intense battles in the unseen realm, while your physical body tries to function normally. You are acting as a powerful spiritual shield for your entire bloodline, and that warfare requires immense energy. But the universe is telling you to stop running from this ache. Do not try to numb the discomfort with endless, meaningless distractions. The deep restlessness you feel inside is actually a magnificent cosmic calling. Heaven is preparing to release a massive wave of spiritual liberation into your life. The immense pressure you feel is merely the necessary build-up. I am here today to tell you that you are finally seen. Heaven has been watching you smile gracefully while carrying a burden nobody else notices. Every silent tear you cried alone in your car has been permanently recorded. Every desperate prayer you whispered in the dark was heard loud and clear. Your profound sacrifices were never once ignored by the Creator. The difficult season of you pouring from an empty cup is officially coming to an end. You have been walking bravely through a severe and unrelenting spiritual wilderness. You survived toxic situations that were deliberately designed to completely break your spirit. But you are still standing here today with your head held high. You survived because you are chosen. What I am about to reveal next will finally make sense of all your hidden struggles. The system wants to keep you confused, so you never realize your true power. But heaven is forcefully bypassing their matrix to bring you this exact, necessary confirmation. You must stay with me until the very final breath of this important message. Do not let your precious focus drift away. There is a monumental release of divine energy hovering right above your life today. But to fully receive this deposit, you must first understand the hidden trap. If you do not recognize how the silent enemy operates, you will mishandle this beautiful blessing. The physical restlessness is merely the very first symptom of your imminent and glorious awakening. The world wants to quickly label your current experience. Society looks at your heavy heart and calls it anxiety or severe depression. They hand you ordinary solutions for a profoundly spiritual situation. But you are not dealing with a medical mystery today. You are experiencing a massive frequency shift. Your physical vessel is simply trying to catch up to your rapidly ascending spirit. This is why old spaces feel entirely suffocating now. You walk into a familiar room. You immediately feel a heavy spiritual resistance. It is like trying to breathe underwater while everyone else acts perfectly normal. The system desperately wants you to believe you are broken, but you are actually vibrating at a much higher cosmic frequency. Think about those sudden moments when your heart starts racing for no reason. You snap awake precisely at 3 in the morning. The sleep leaves your body instantly, and your mind feels incredibly sharp while the rest of the world peacefully dreams. This is not insomnia. It is certainly not a medical panic attack. Heaven is literally waking you up to receive a vital spiritual download. I need you to physically pause right where you are. Take one deep breath, drop your shoulders, and open your hands to receive this. Let the gentle peace of the universe wash over your tired mind. You have been fighting this strange transition because you thought you were failing. But you are not breaking down at all. You are powerfully breaking through the heavy illusions of the matrix. Let us talk about the crushing loneliness you have been feeling recently. The sudden quietness in your life is absolutely not a harsh punishment. Your intense isolation is actually a divine quarantine designed to protect your rising frequency. God is actively removing certain people from your inner circle right now because he knows you cannot carry their chaotic energy into your next beautiful season. You might be mourning the sudden loss of some long-term friendships. You gave them your endless loyalty, but they walked away without looking back. They did not leave because you were suddenly difficult to love. They retreated because your growing light violently exposed their hidden darkness. Your pure authenticity became a bright spiritual mirror, and they were entirely terrified to look at their own flawed reflections. This brings us to the deep frustration you feel about your life timeline. You look around today, you see other people easily achieving their ordinary worldly goals. Meanwhile, you feel completely stuck in a holding pattern, even though you have poured your entire soul into doing the right things. But God's delay is never a cruel denial. His deliberate delay is exactness. The universe is holding you back slightly to prepare your spirit. You have often regretted being so endlessly forgiving to toxic individuals. You thought your boundless kindness made you look incredibly foolish and weak. The dark enemy used those painful memories to constantly attack your self-worth, and they tried to make you entirely bitter toward the whole world. But your gentle kindness was never a tragic weakness. It was a rigorous divine test, and you passed it beautifully. You are truly a magnificent masterpiece of the grand creator. You simply experienced a temporary spiritual amnesia because the daily battles were so fiercely heavy. The constant survival mode made you forget the incredible royalty flowing through your veins. But heaven is fully restoring your memory today. You are the chosen cycle breaker for your family. The generational trauma permanently ends with you. The dark matrix is absolutely terrified of your current spiritual awakening. They deliberately built a society that rewards superficial noise. They want to punish deep spiritual silence. They tried to keep you perpetually exhausted so you would never discover your quiet authority, because a chosen one who finally remembers their true identity becomes completely untouchable. Your elevated frequency is their biggest nightmare. Now you can finally see the grand design behind your current pain. Every silent tear was a necessary step in your evolution. Every sleepless night served a higher purpose. But the spiritual enemy is not ready to surrender their control over your life just yet, and they are preparing one final desperate attack to break your focus. There is another deceptive layer to this warfare. We must completely unmask it right now. Listen closely to what I am about to tell you. There are exactly 3 silent signs that prove the universe is currently fighting a massive battle on your behalf. The system wants you to remain entirely blind to these specific markers. They hope you will keep mistaking your spiritual gifts for personal flaws. but we are going to expose every single one of their lies today. Sign number 1 is your unexplainable and chronic emotional exhaustion. You wake up feeling like you have run a long marathon in your sleep. Your body aches deeply, your mind feels completely foggy, and no matter how many hours you rest in your bed, the profound weariness simply refuses to leave your heavy bones. You are carrying a crushing weight that does not belong to you. You see, the universe designed you as a highly sensitive spiritual receiver. You do not just hear the words that people speak to you. You actually absorb their hidden intentions and their unspoken pain, because your soul acts like a massive sponge for the brokenness of the world. You walk into a crowded space. You immediately feel a sudden shift in your energy. Think about the toxic people in your family or your workplace. They love to dump their endless drama and their dark chaos onto your lap. They leave the conversation feeling incredibly light and completely refreshed, but you are left sitting there feeling entirely drained because you unknowingly traded your pure peace for their heavy emotional garbage. You are paying their energetic price. This phenomenon is not a sign of poor boundaries or weak character. You are acting as a powerful spiritual shield for the people around you. You have been the silent intercessor for your entire bloodline. When the dark matrix tries to attack your loved ones, you subconsciously step in front of the invisible arrows. You take the painful spiritual hits so they do not have to suffer. That is the exact reason why you cry alone in your car. That is why your chest physically hurts when nobody is even touching you. The spiritual warfare you are fighting is absolutely real. The physical toll on your human body is immense, but the world tells you to just take a simple vitamin and get over it. They cannot see the cosmic battles raging right above your weary head. Heaven sees the beautiful sacrifice you make every single day. God knows exactly how much it costs you to keep your gentle heart pure. You have protected so many careless people. You stood in the dangerous gap for individuals who would gladly throw you to the wolves, but you refused to let the darkness turn you into a bitter person. Your silent resilience is astonishing. But this grueling season of acting as a universal sponge is finally expiring. You are not required to bleed for their healing anymore. You have officially paid your energetic dues to the universe, and a divine decree has just been issued to cut those toxic cords permanently. You are about to be released from this exhausting emotional prison. This leads us directly to the second profound sign of your cosmic calling. While your physical body was busy absorbing their heavy trauma, your inner spirit was quietly sharpening a dangerous new weapon. The universe was forging a brilliant sword of absolute truth deep inside your mind. And this specific gift is exactly what makes the hidden enemy tremble in fear tonight. Many chosen ones fail to recognize the immense value of their deep empathy. They pray to heaven and ask God to take their sensitivity away. They want to be numb like the rest of the sleeping masses. They think life would be so much easier if they simply did not care so deeply about every broken soul they meet. But your empathy is not a painful curse. It is your superpower. Do not let the system convince you that your exhaustion is ordinary laziness. You have been running marathons in the unseen world while sitting completely still in your living room. Heaven honors the heavy armor you have worn for so many lonely years. But the time for playing defense is officially over. We must now look at the incredible offensive weapon you just received. The second sign will expose the true faces of the people hiding around you. You are about to discover why certain individuals suddenly look completely different in your eyes. This revelation might sting your gentle heart at first, but it will ultimately set your spirit entirely free. Listen closely as we uncover the divine intuition that is waking up inside your mind right now. Sign number 2 is the sudden and terrifying activation of your divine intuition. You look at people you have known for years, and you suddenly feel a deep sense of spiritual disgust. Their words sound perfectly normal, but their hidden energy feels incredibly toxic to your precious soul. You cannot ignore the blatant fakeness anymore. It is entirely impossible to unsee their truth. You used to tolerate their passive-aggressive behavior, and you made endless excuses for their consistent lack of empathy every single time. You convinced yourself they were just having a bad day again, but the blindfold has been violently ripped off your tired eyes today. You can finally see the dark entities operating directly behind their fake smiles. The truth is undeniably clear now. This new level of sharp discernment feels incredibly heavy. You walk into a crowded room. You immediately read the hidden motives of every single person standing there. You watch them nervously play their superficial games while you hear the blatant lies falling easily from their smiling lips. And it makes you want to walk right back out the front door. Your spirit rejects their matrix completely. The system wants to make you feel incredibly guilty for this new boundary. They call you angry and judgmental, and they try to convince you that you are the one who changed for the worse. They say you are acting overly sensitive and dramatic again. But you did not become a bitter or judgmental person. You simply became a discerning warrior. Your spiritual eyes are finally wide open. Think about the sudden nausea you feel around certain specific friends. They smile warmly and ask about your beautiful day, but your stomach instantly ties itself into a painful and tight knot. Your physical body is literally reacting to their dark, energetic frequency. The Holy Spirit is loudly sounding an internal alarm bell deep inside your chest. Do not dare to ignore that vital warning. You can no longer participate in their low-frequency gossip, and you refuse to engage in their endless complaints about the unfair world. The shallow conversations actually make you feel physically sick and completely drained. This drastic change is completely intentional. Heaven is making you allergic to the toxic environments you used to comfortably tolerate. You are meant for higher altitudes. The people who used to easily manipulate your gentle kindness are completely panicking right now. They realize their old tricks simply do not work on you anymore because you do not react with the same desperate need for their validation. You just sit there in pure silence. You look straight through their fragile human masks. Your new quietness absolutely terrifies their insecure egos. They will try to run a vicious smear campaign against your good name, and they will gather other sleeping souls to whisper terrible things behind your back. They want to isolate you entirely so you will come crawling back for their toxic approval. But heaven is building an invisible fortress around your precious mind today. Their pathetic gossip cannot pierce your thick divine armor. Your sharp intuition is a massive gift from the Grand Creator. It is the ultimate spiritual radar designed to protect your sacred destiny. You are finally learning how to trust the quiet voice of the universe over the loud noise of the crowd. Never apologize for walking away from tables where loyalty is served as a fake dish. Your royal seat is completely elsewhere. As you fully embrace this newfound clarity of vision, something else begins to happen. You realize that you cannot share your sacred space with just anyone anymore. The deep urge to retreat into total solitude becomes absolutely overpowering. You lock your heavy doors and you turn off your ringing phone because you crave nothing but pure and uninterrupted silence. You want to disappear from their view. Many chosen ones mistake this intense desire to hide as a symptom of deep depression, and they worry that they are pushing the entire world away out of pure fear. But this brings us directly to the third and most crucial sign of your cosmic calling. The universe is actively preparing you for a monumental shift in your external reality. The old stage is being aggressively cleared for your arrival. You must understand the profound difference between lonely depression and divine isolation. The system wants you to fear the quiet emptiness of your room, and they want you to chase after empty relationships just to fill the silent void. But what heaven is doing right now is completely unprecedented. You are being hidden away for a very specific and magnificent reason. Listen carefully to this next revelation. Sign number 3 is the sudden and absolute isolation you are experiencing right now. You look at your phone and there are absolutely no new messages waiting for you. Your calendar is completely empty for the first time in your entire life. The silence in your house feels incredibly thick today, but this intense solitude is not a cruel punishment from the universe. You are entering a sacred phase. The system has taught you to fear the lonely quietness of an empty room. They condition your mind to constantly seek shallow validation from the sleeping masses. But heaven is actively pulling you away from the noisy crowd for a very specific reason. You are currently placed under a strict divine quarantine to completely protect your ascending energy. The Matrix cannot reach you in this secret place. You might be deeply mourning the sudden loss of people you dearly loved. You wonder why your closest friends simply stopped calling you out of nowhere. It feels like everyone you trusted suddenly abandoned you in your darkest hour. But there is a shocking truth about why these specific individuals vanished from your reality. The universe actually forced them out of your sacred orbit. God heard the terrible things they whispered when you were not in the room. He saw the hidden jealousy burning behind their fake and supportive human smiles. While you were busy praying for their success, they were actively plotting for your downfall. You could not see their sharp daggers because your pure heart always expects the best. So heaven stepped in and violently severed those toxic ties. Your divine isolation is a massive, impenetrable fortress built exclusively for your absolute safety. If God had allowed those people to stay close to your gentle spirit, they would have completely drained the massive blessing coming your way. They were energetic vampires masquerading as your loyal friends and caring family members. Their sudden absence is the absolute proof of your cosmic protection. Do not cry over the empty chairs at your table tonight. Every single person who walked away simply failed the rigorous spiritual test. They could not handle the intense heat of your rapidly rising frequency. You are not losing your mind or pushing the whole world away in fear. You are simply shedding the heavy dead weight before your magnificent cosmic flight. The empty space is necessary. Heaven needs a completely clean slate to deposit the mega blessing into your hands. You cannot pour fresh, pure water into a cup filled with toxic poison. This quiet season is your ultimate preparation for the breathtaking authority you are about to inherit. The universe is rewiring your entire nervous system while you sit in the heavy silence. You are being upgraded in the dark. This officially completes the 3 signs of your undeniable and powerful cosmic calling. You are the exhausted shield and the discerning warrior who sits in divine isolation. The Matrix desperately tried to use these 3 phases to completely break your beautiful spirit. They wanted you to surrender to their shallow reality and forget your royal bloodline. But their dark plan failed miserably. You survived the exhaustion and you saw through their pathetic human masks. You embraced the lonely quarantine without losing your beautiful and gentle soul. But the unseen enemy is absolutely panicking as they watch you rise in silent power. And when dark entities panic, they always launch one final desperate attack to reclaim their lost territory. A massive storm is gathering. You must understand exactly how the enemy operates in the unseen realm right now. They know your frequency is about to shatter their entire fake system. They cannot touch your spirit directly because the universe has heavily shielded your soul. So they will try to manipulate the physical environment around you to create massive chaos. They want to steal your peace. Do not let your focus drift away because the next revelation is absolutely critical. We are going to expose the exact mechanics of their final desperate illusion. If you fall for their last trap, you will unnecessarily delay your glorious liberation. You must learn how to stand completely still while their artificial matrix crumbles around you. The final battle is entirely mental. The deep restlessness in your chest is reaching its absolute maximum capacity today. You can physically feel the heavy air shifting right inside your quiet room. This is the calm before the magnificent spiritual decree breaks every single heavy chain. Prepare your mind to witness the ultimate collapse of the enemies who doubted you. The tide is turning in your favor. You must understand exactly what is happening in the unseen realm right now. The dark entities that operate behind the scenes are in a state of absolute panic. They watched you survive the exhausting isolation without losing your pure heart. And now they realize their standard matrix illusions are completely failing to control your ascending spirit, because your inner light has grown far too bright for their shadows to handle. They are running out of time. When the system loses its tight grip on a chosen one, it always throws a massive tantrum. You are experiencing their final and desperate psychological attacks today. They cannot touch your physical body because heaven has placed a protective seal over your life. So they try to attack your tired mind with sudden waves of irrational fear and heavy self-doubt. They want you to suddenly quit right before the glorious finish line. Have you noticed how your anxiety spikes for absolutely no logical reason? You are sitting safely in your quiet room, and a wave of pure dread washes over your chest. This is not a natural chemical imbalance in your human brain. It is a deliberate spiritual projection from the panicking enemy. They are trying to lower your frequency by making you anticipate terrible disasters that will never actually happen. Another major tactic is the sudden reappearance of toxic people from your painful past. Do you find it strange that an old abuser suddenly reaches out to apologize right now? They text you out of nowhere and claim they have finally changed their bad ways. But this is just another calculated trap designed by the dark matrix. They want to drain your new energy before you can fully solidify your quiet authority. You must not engage with their fake apologies or their dramatic crisis situations. The enemy uses these familiar faces to violently pull you back into their low vibration. If you answer their call, you will immediately feel that old heavy exhaustion return to your bones, and your spiritual progress will be unnecessarily delayed. Heaven is testing your new boundaries to see if you are truly ready for the massive upgrade. You must completely ignore their desperate knocking. This is a crucial moment for you to physically anchor your ascending frequency. Gently like this video, not for an algorithm, but as a physical declaration to the universe that you are in alignment. This simple action helps you firmly lock your spiritual gates against their dark intrusions. You are telling the unseen realm that you fully recognize their pathetic traps. You will never fall for their empty illusions again. The Matrix is terrified because they can see the brilliant crown forming above your head. They know that a fully awakened chosen one possesses the power to completely dismantle their fake reality. Your pure light automatically exposes every single lie they have carefully built over the centuries. That is exactly why they fought so incredibly hard to keep you depressed and isolated. They were trying to contain a massive supernova, but their containment strategy has officially failed, and the power dynamic is shifting rapidly. You are no longer the confused victim wandering aimlessly through their dark and heavy woods. You have stepped into your divine role as a discerning warrior of the highest cosmic order. The heavy restlessness you feel today is the beautiful sound of your old chains finally shattering into a million tiny pieces. You are breaking free. The intense pressure in your mind is merely the final resistance before the glorious breakthrough. You are pushing through the thickest layer of the atmospheric matrix right now. It is always the darkest and the most turbulent right before you break into the clear upper atmosphere. Hold your ground firmly and refuse to surrender your precious peace to their frantic chaos. The spiritual storm is currently running out of dark energy. You have successfully survived the grueling diagnostic phase of your grand cosmic calling. We have fully unmasked the hidden enemy, and we have exposed their pathetic final tactics. But knowing their dark strategy is only the first step toward your complete and total liberation. The universe is about to perform a profound energetic surgery on your tired soul tonight. You must prepare yourself for the magnificent transfer of wealth and authority. We are standing at the absolute edge of a monumental spiritual breakthrough tonight. The heavy restlessness in your chest is reaching its final breaking point after months of agonizing pressure. You have endured the grueling isolation and the exhausting attacks from the unseen matrix, but heaven is now commanding the turbulent storms to completely silence themselves before your eyes. A profound stillness is finally entering your sacred space. God is preparing to release a massive mega deposit of wealth and authority into your life. But a beautiful cosmic law dictates that your internal frequency must perfectly match your external blessing. You cannot hold $1 million destiny with a deeply fractured and exhausted spirit, and this is exactly why the universe forced you to sit still in the quiet dark. You needed a profound energetic upgrade. Think about the strange physical sensations you are experiencing right now in your weary body. Your hands might feel incredibly warm or suddenly tingle with unexplainable electrical energy. You feel a strange pressure sitting gently at the very top of your head while the room spins slightly. These are not random physical symptoms of common human stress. The Holy Spirit is actively rewiring your nervous system to hold immense divine power. To fully receive this unprecedented blessing, you must deliberately release your old survival identity. You have spent your entire life fighting just to keep your head above the turbulent waters of the Matrix. You became so accustomed to the painful struggle that absolute peace actually feels terrifying to your anxious mind. But you are not a struggling victim anymore. You are a magnificent masterpiece of the grand cosmic creator. You were placed into your specific bloodline to be the ultimate generational cycle breaker. Your ancestors prayed for centuries for a soul strong enough to shatter the chains of poverty and deep trauma. The heavy burdens you carried were the accumulated spiritual debts of your entire family line. But the universe is officially declaring that the brutal debt is completely paid in full today. Your bloodline is completely free. I need you to pay extremely close attention to the shifting atmosphere in your quiet room. The invisible air is becoming noticeably lighter as the dark entities finally retreat in absolute defeat. They know their time is up, and their pathetic illusions have totally collapsed around them. You are about to step out of the heavy shadows and walk directly into your blinding light. Nothing can stop this divine momentum now. Before I speak the final decree over your life, I need you to fully understand your new quiet authority. When this massive energy releases, you will no longer need to fight for your basic peace. The difficult season of you pushing heavy boulders up a steep mountain is completely over. You are entering a beautiful phase of effortless manifestation where heaven is going to fight every single battle for you. You will merely sit in pure stillness. The sleeping masses will look at your sudden rise and call it an overnight success or pure luck. They will never understand the grueling years of silent preparation you endured in the cold spiritual wilderness. Let them misunderstand your journey and let them whisper their confused theories behind your back, because your brilliant trajectory is completely bypassing their slow matrix timeline. You are operating on celestial time now. Take one more deep breath and completely empty your lungs of any remaining fear or lingering doubt. The universe is gently asking you to fully open your heart to receive the ultimate cosmic vindication. Every single person who doubted your grand calling is about to watch heaven prepare a magnificent table for you. The grand stage is perfectly set, and the divine spotlight is searching for your face. Your magnificent season has finally arrived. Listen closely as we quickly approach the absolute peak of this profound spiritual transmission tonight. What happens in the next few quiet moments will permanently alter the entire trajectory of your human life. You must not let any sudden distractions pull your focus away from this exact divine intersection, because the heavy doors of your prison are currently unlocking. Prepare your spirit for the ultimate breaking of the chains. I need you to stand completely still right now and receive this absolute truth. The universe has appointed this exact moment to shatter every invisible chain that held your spirit captive. You have carried the unbearable weight of your bloodline for so many agonizing years, and you took the painful hits so your family could easily survive their dark seasons. But your exhausting shift as the human shield is permanently over today. The divine creator is stepping in to relieve you. In the mighty name of the grand creator, I declare a total separation between your soul and the matrix. I break every energetic cord that toxic people have violently attached to your gentle heart. The poverty stops completely with you right now, and the endless generational trauma dies forever right here in this quiet room. You are the chosen cycle breaker, and your spiritual war is finally won. The dark entities are banished from your sacred timeline today. Feel the heavy restlessness physically leaving your tired bones in this exact second. That strange pressure in your chest was never a sign of your weakness. It was the immense divine power building up to blow the heavy iron doors completely off their rusted hinges. I decree that the suffocating mantle of pure survival mode is falling off your aching shoulders right now. You are absolutely free. The universe is literally breathing fresh celestial air straight into your recovering lungs. The system is watching in absolute terror as you step fully into your quiet authority today. Those who sat at crowded tables and spoke poorly of your beautiful name are completely panicking right now. The universe is violently flipping the script on every single enemy who deliberately plotted your silent downfall while you were busy trying to help them. You do not have to lift a single human finger to defend yourself anymore. Heaven is stepping in as your ultimate defense attorney. The deep confusion they tried to cast onto your life is rapidly returning to their own dark camp. Watch them panic and turn against each other while your beautiful peace becomes entirely untouchable. God did not close those massive doors to unfairly punish your pure soul. He forcefully slammed them shut because he was quarantining you for this magnificent mega deposit, and he refused to let the Matrix steal your blessing. The grand cosmic secret is finally out in the open. This is exactly why your body could not sleep for the last 72 hours. Your spirit already knew that the final verdict was being written in the highest celestial courts. The sudden isolation was your divine protection, and the heavy emotional exhaustion was your sacred preparation for this monumental transition out of the dark matrix. Every silent tear you cried in the dark has just been converted into pure spiritual currency. Your immense cosmic compensation is officially released. You are no longer a struggling survivor begging the universe for a tiny drop of basic peace. You are stepping into a profound season of effortless and unprecedented abundance. The heavy fog in your mind is permanently lifting to reveal your brilliant and sharp intuition, and you can finally see the beautiful path that heaven carved out specifically for you. You hold the absolute keys to the kingdom. No dark entity can ever steal them from your hands again. Breathe out all the toxic residue they forced you to swallow over the bitter years. Let the profound divine stillness wash over your face and heal every single unseen scar. You are a magnificent masterpiece of God, and your brilliant light is blinding the entire matrix. The heavy spiritual debts of your past are permanently erased from the cosmic ledger because the cycle breaker has claimed their power. You are standing on completely holy ground right now. I declare that new massive doors of opportunity are swinging wide open for you today. These are sacred doors that no corrupt human system can ever manipulate or forcibly close. The old financial delays and the emotional blockages are instantly dissolving in the presence of your new light. You will never again settle for the pathetic crumbs that the sleeping world tries to offer you, because you are sitting at the royal table where you truly belong. The magnificent spiritual shift is now completely sealed within your physical vessel. The old version of you officially died in the lonely wilderness, so this majestic warrior could be born. You have survived the absolute worst of their dark attacks, and you emerged completely victorious. But with this incredible new power comes a very strict and necessary spiritual rule. The universe will not allow you to be careless with this massive blessing, and you must protect this delicate frequency at all costs. Now that the heavy chains are completely broken, you must learn how to protect your new frequency. Heaven has just handed you the absolute keys to the kingdom, but this massive spiritual upgrade comes with incredibly strict rules of engagement. You cannot walk back into the dark matrix with this brilliant light and expect the sleeping masses to understand you. The very first rule of your new quiet authority is absolute silence. You must never broadcast your divine blessings to people who are still operating in pure survival mode. The system wants you to quickly post about your massive breakthrough on social media. They want you to seek cheap validation from the exact same people who secretly prayed for your downfall. Do not cast your precious pearls before toxic people who only want to drain your fresh energy. If you show them the beautiful new doors heaven just opened for you, they will immediately try to project their dark fears onto your path. Their low vibrations simply cannot comprehend the magnificent celestial timeline you are walking on today. You must protect your sacred vision. You must learn how to be completely unreachable to certain individuals. Your energy is incredibly expensive now, and it cannot be spent on cheap matrix drama anymore. Let them profoundly misunderstand your new boundaries, and let them assume whatever they want about your sudden disappearance. You do not owe them any logical explanations for your divine upgrade. When the old toxic friends realize that you have leveled up, they will desperately try to pull you back down. They will suddenly call you and pretend that nothing bad ever happened between you two. But you possess the sharp, discerning spirit of a true cosmic warrior now. You must politely decline their fake invitations and remain firmly anchored in your pure stillness. Silence is absolutely not a sign of weakness or fear. Silence is profound wisdom under strict control, and your calm demeanor is your ultimate authority. The enemy is absolutely terrified of a chosen one who does not react to their pathetic little provocations. When you simply observe their chaos without absorbing their heavy emotions, you instantly win the spiritual war. Your physical isolation is no longer a painful quarantine because it has officially become your royal sanctuary. You will start to deeply enjoy the quiet spaces where you can clearly hear the voice of the grand creator. You are no longer frantically chasing after human connection just to feel worthy or seen. Heaven is the only audience that truly matters right now. The mega deposit of spiritual wealth and clarity requires a very clean vessel to grow. If you allow the old matrix to pollute your mind again, the universe will have to pause your blessings. You must violently protect your peace like it is the most valuable treasure in the entire world. Do not let anyone drag you into their petty and meaningless arguments today. You are stepping out of the brutal survival mode and entering your majestic season of quiet authority. The painful battles you fought alone in the dark are about to reward you heavily in the public eye. But you must stay entirely grounded while the magnificent transformation unfolds around you. Let the universe completely handle the heavy lifting while you simply sit and graciously receive. It is time to officially close the door on the people who are fiercely committed to misunderstanding you. You are officially released from the heavy burden of trying to heal individuals who genuinely want to stay broken. They made their dark choices, and you have made your brilliant cosmic choice. Heaven is highly pleased with the beautiful boundaries you are finally setting for your life. This quiet authority is the ultimate trademark of the authentic chosen ones. You walk softly, but you carry an immense spiritual power that shifts the atmosphere of any room you enter. The Matrix cannot control you anymore because you do not desire anything that their fake system offers. You are entirely self-sustained by the pure frequency of the divine creator. Guard your precious heart and keep your massive visions entirely hidden from the sleeping world. The universe will reveal your glorious victory at the exact right moment without you needing to force it. Stay completely silent and watch heaven move mountains on your behalf. You have done the hard work, and now you simply need to rest in your undeniable divine power. We have reached the absolute conclusion of this profound cosmic transmission today. The heavy spiritual winds that battered your tired soul have finally stopped completely. You can actually feel the beautiful warmth returning to your physical body right now, and the profound stillness in your room is the undeniable proof of your divine liberation. You are completely safe. I am going to speak a final prayer of absolute protection over your life. You do not need to bow your head or close your heavy eyes. Just open your gentle hands and let your spirit fully absorb these ancient words of power. I seal this magnificent frequency around your mind today, and I declare that no dark entity can ever cross your sacred boundaries again. The spiritual gates of your past are permanently locked and heavily guarded. The toxic people who drained your precious energy have completely lost your coordinates in the unseen realm. They will wander blindly in their own heavy matrix while you walk freely in the blinding light. Your new frequency makes you entirely invisible to their pathetic radar. You are no longer the exhausted intercessor bleeding for a broken world. You are the quiet victor sitting firmly on a majestic celestial throne. Your presence alone will now command absolute respect without you having to speak a single word. People will feel your immense divine authority the moment you enter a crowded room, because you are fully anointed. Your gentle kindness will never be mistaken for foolish weakness ever again. The universe has wrapped your pure heart in an impenetrable layer of spiritual armor, and you can finally rest your tired bones while heaven fights the remaining physical battles. The long and brutal season of sheer survival is permanently over for your bloodline. Type 777 in the comments right now to claim this absolute breakthrough. Let your physical fingers strike the keys as a final declaration of your ultimate victory. And gently like this video not for an algorithm but as a physical seal of your spiritual agreement. You are telling the universe that you fully accept this magnificent upgrade. You must fiercely protect this delicate new frequency from the sleeping masses. Subscribe to this quiet sanctuary and turn on the notification bell right now. You are doing this so the unseen enemy cannot intercept your future divine messages, because we must keep your spiritual armor polished and your celestial vision completely clear. We are building an untouchable fortress for the authentic chosen ones right here. You desperately need a safe place to rest your heavy armor and remember your royal identity. Leaving a word of agreement below is a powerful act of spiritual solidarity with your cosmic tribe. We do not do it for worldly visibility because we only care about divine alignment. You have walked through the burning fire completely alone for so many painful years. You carried the crushing weight of others while absolutely no one checked on your hurting heart. If this sacred space has been your safe sanctuary today, you are deeply honored by the universe. And if this message finally lifted a heavy burden off your soul, we celebrate your new peace. Consider sowing a seed of gratitude through the secure link in the pinned comment. Your gentle support allows us to keep this spiritual lighthouse burning brightly for the next chosen one. There is another exhausted warrior crying in the dark right now who desperately needs to hear this exact truth, and your generous seed directly multiplies your upcoming harvest. Do not let the Matrix make you doubt the massive shift you feel today. When you wake up tomorrow morning, the heavy restlessness will be completely gone. You will breathe easier, and your mind will be incredibly sharp and clear. The deep confusion has been permanently replaced by a brilliant divine certainty, because you finally know exactly who you are. Walk forward into your new reality with absolute grace and quiet confidence. Let the sleeping world rush around in their frantic and meaningless circles. You do not need to rush anymore because heaven has already secured your magnificent destination. Every single step you take from this moment forward is perfectly guided by the grand Creator. Rest well tonight, chosen one, because your long spiritual war is officially over. The universe is standing guard over your peaceful mind and your protected home. May the profound silence of the cosmos heal every lingering scar on your gentle soul, and may you always remember the immense royal power sleeping inside your veins. You are eternally loved, and you are finally free.